Welcome back to Hops and Hay and Cattle. Today we're going to be disking a hay field. I'm going to turn y'all around here and show you what I'm going to be doing it with and show you what we're trying to do. We're not trying to disc it up, we're just trying to disc trenches in it. I'll show y'all what I'm trying to do. So I got the Massey Ferguson 4707 hooked to our 7-foot disc. I think this is a long disc, but what we're trying to do is we've got a hay field that hasn't been yielding very good, or really it hadn't been yielding good at all. It's I think it's 6 or 8 acres, and when we first started cutting it, we would bale 30 to 38 every time we cut it. Well, it's gotten to where we usually bale before last year, when it was so dry, we wouldn't be able to about 10 to 12, maybe 15 on it. So that's not very good at all for 6 or 8 acres fertilized. So what we're going to try to do today is I've got these disc blades straightened out. They're not perfectly straight, they're still turned just a little bit, but I've not got them turned at an angle to disc to tear all the ground up. But what we're hoping I can do is I'm got it turned just a little bit, enough that the blades themselves roll a little bit of dirt, but not much at all. But we're hoping we can just take these disc shanks, or disc, it's not shanks, and just cut trenches in the ground at every blade. And I've got the back picked up off the ground, as you can see there. You can see there, they're not touching the ground. And we got this skidder tire a long time ago. I was logging around our house, and they left this skidder tire laying in the woods, so we got it. But you can tell the tire blowed out. You can see how all this is messed up here. So the tire blowed out, and they just put a new one on it and left the old one laying there. We picked it up and we use it as a weight on this disc. If we can just set it on here like this, and we just chain it down, and that helps. If you've got more weight on top of the disc, it makes your disc blades cut deeper, especially in hard ground. But we're gonna go try it. I don't know if it'll work or not. I've used it here, just made a pass or two just to see how it did, and it cut a little bit, but it's not cutting very deep. I'm hoping the hayfield will cut a little deeper. If it ain't cutting very deep, we may not be able to do it. But let's get on up to the hayfield. I got about a 20-minute drive on the tractor, so I'll holler back at y'all when we get there. Alright, so I'm out here disking now. I've made 2 passes. It's doing pretty good. It's cutting about 3 to 4 inches, so we're gonna try it. See, maybe it'll help it some. Anything's better than what it's doing now. But I'll show y'all how it's doing. You can see here how it's cutting trenches in the ground, see? It's cutting trenches in the ground. It's cutting pretty good. I'm running anywhere between 4 and 4.5 miles per hour. But you can see where I've made a pass down there and back here. We don't want it to tear the ground up much. We just want it to kind of cut holes in the ground. You can see the trenches it's cutting though. And I'm guessing they're probably spaced out about, I don't know, probably 6-8 inches each pass. But we're gonna do it and hope it works. And there's a couple of blades that ain't cutting very good, but they're not as new. You can see these blades here are newer. You can see how much, I guess you'd say, cutting edge they have here. Whereas, see these here, they don't have near as much. This one And this one, the rest of them are cutting good. But I've got the back picked up off the ground. Got the skidder tire on there. But you can see here, it's cutting on down in there. It's probably cutting somewhere about right in there. It's cutting about that deep. So that's 3 to 4 inches probably. And some places it cuts better than that. But we're gonna do it anyway and hope it'll help it. Let's get after it. I'm running in second gear, second high, which is 8th gear. I'm running 1300 RPM, and I'm running about, according to my speedometer, I'm running 4.4 to 4.5, which is probably fast enough. I probably could run just a little faster. I don't want them teeth to start throwing that dirt too far, or them discs to start throwing it too far. I just kind of want to cut trenches, because if I go to running too fast, it will start throwing a little bit of dirt. This field is really smooth. It's got some holes in it though. When you hit one of them, you know you hit it for sure. Well, I know where most of them are. A lot of them is in this area we're in right here. I don't think I'm quite that far over yet. But when you hit them, you hit them. So I usually try not to run too fast when I'm down where I know about where they're at. But I just made one straight pass across one side, or straight as I could make it down one side. And I'm just gonna pick up on the end and turn around. Wish this tractor turned a little bit sharper. I wouldn't have to back up like this. I don't want to leave a big space on the end to have to come clean up. Seems to be cutting pretty good. You can definitely see where the disc is cut in the ground for sure. Those skidder tires, even though that's just rubber, well, I mean, it's rubber and wire like tires are made out of, them things are heavy. You wouldn't think it would be that heavy just being a tire with no rim or anything, but it's pretty dadgum heavy. And it definitely helps this disc cut in the ground. Because these discs ain't very heavy, so they, unless you put some weight on them, they have a hard time cutting it more ground, even if you've got them set to where they'll disc, tear the ground up really good. But we don't want to do that, because we don't want to tear the ground up. We just want to kind of cut trenches in it where the moisture can get down in it a little better. And we'll probably fertilize it within the next week or two. Maybe that rain, and we've been getting rain about every 2 or 3 days. We usually get rain for a day. So maybe that rain will wash that fertilizer down in the ground. I got it all done. Y'all can see here. Got it broke up. You can see the little trenches in it. All the way across there. And it's like this all the way across here. These here I was running this way because these were the inroads, but as you can see here, here's where I was running this way up and down the field. But as y'all can see there, all these little trenches cut in it. It's like this all the way to the trees over there. And it cut down in there pretty good. I'm gonna say 3 to 4 inches. So hopefully that'll help it some. Maybe it'll open that ground up where you can get some moisture down in there. And we'll probably be fertilizing it in a couple of weeks, and maybe that fertilizer will get down in the ground and help it out. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. Massey Ferguson 4707 did good. I run second high, about 1300 RPM over the whole thing, and I'd run about 4.5 miles per hour, which is fast enough. I got to going too fast. Them blades would start throwing the dirt. So 4.5, it done really good. I'm pleased with how it did. Thank y'all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch y'all on the next video.